Have you ever noticed how fear doesn't shout? It whispers. It says things like, maybe tomorrow, or you're not ready yet, or what if you fail?
Yeah, fear rarely sounds dramatic. It sounds reasonable. It sounds logical. And that's what makes it dangerous.
Exactly. Fear doesn't always stop us with force. Sometimes it stops us with comfort.
Before we begin, let us take just 10 seconds with you.
If you're listening right now and you enjoy learning English with real conversations like this one,
Please consider subscribing to the channel.
most of the people who listen to our podcast are not subscribed yet, and your support really helps us continue.
Subscribing is free. It takes one click, and it helps this podcast reach more English learners around the world.
Thank you for being here with us.
Now, let's begin today's episode.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to How to Face Your Fear.
This episode is not about being fearless. It's about being honest. Honest about what scares us and brave enough to look at it.
Because fear is something every human shares. Different stories, different backgrounds, same feeling.
So today, we're going to talk about fear, not like a monster, but like a message.
Emily, let me ask you something. What do you think fear really is?
I think fear is a signal, not an enemy. It's our brain trying to protect us, even when protection becomes a limitation.
That's powerful. Fear was useful when humans had to survive wild animals. But today?
Today, fear stops us from speaking English, from changing jobs, from starting a relationship, from believing in ourselves.
Fear says, stay where you are. At least it's familiar.
Even if that place is painful.
Especially if that place is painful but known.
That's the trap. We choose familiar pain over unfamiliar growth.
Emily, let me ask you something. What do you think fear really is?
I think fear is a signal, not an enemy. It's our brain trying to protect us, even when protection becomes limitation.
That's powerful. Fear was useful when humans had to survive wild animals. But today?
Today, fear stops us from speaking English, from changing jobs, from starting a relationship, from believing in ourselves.
Fear says, stay where you are. At least it's familiar.
Even if that place is painful.
Especially if that place is painful but known.
That's the trap. We choose familiar pain over unfamiliar growth.
Can I share something personal? Please do. For years, I was afraid of speaking in front of people. My hands would shake, my voice would change, my mind would go blank.
People don't believe that about you.
That's because they see the result, not the process. Fear doesn't disappear when you succeed. It disappears because you face it, again and again.
What was the moment you realized fear was controlling you?
When I started saying no to opportunities I secretly wanted, that's when I knew fear was deciding my life.
That hurts because it's so real.
My fear was quieter. I was afraid of disappointing people.
That's a heavy one.
I said yes when I wanted to say no. I smiled when I wanted to scream. I stayed silent when I had something important to say.
So fear made you invisible.
Yes, and one day I realized I wasn't living my life. I was performing it.
Let's talk directly to our listeners learning English.
Yes, because fear shows up loudly here.
Fear of making mistakes. Fear of sounding stupid. Fear of being judged.
But here's the truth. Mistakes are not proof of weakness. They're proof of effort.
Every fluent speaker you admire was once embarrassed, confused, and scared.
The difference? They spoke anyway. Why do people avoid fear instead of facing it?
Because facing fear feels like standing naked in front of the world.
Vulnerable.
Exactly. But avoidance has a price.
Regret.
And regret is heavier than fear.
Here's a simple truth I learned. Fear shrinks when you move toward it.
And it grows when you run away.
Fear feeds on imagination.
But courage feeds on action.
Let's make this practical. Yes, small steps matter. Say it out loud. I'm afraid of, because unnamed fear controls you.
Named fear becomes manageable.
Fear doesn't mean stop. It means pay attention.
Speak English badly. Start badly. Try badly.
Progress doesn't come from perfection. It comes from repetition.
Fear is like a shadow.
When you run from it, it follows you.
When you turn around and face it, it disappears.
Let's make this practical.
If you're listening right now, there's something you've been avoiding.
A conversation, a decision, a dream.
This episode is your sign.
Not to be fearless, but to be brave for 5 seconds.
Your future is on the other side of fear.
Not comfort, not excuses, fear.
And every time you face it, you become stronger.
Not louder, not perfect, stronger.
Thank you for listening to How to Face Your Fear.
If this episode helped you, please subscribe to the channel.
Share it with someone who's scared but trying.
And remember, fear is not a stop sign.
It's a direction.
See you in the next episode.